Hello, it's Rani Yoga Devi, and I'm coming to you from my home in Leamington, Ontario, Canada. And today I want to continue the discussion about depression and yoga and why yoga is important. And what I'm going to do today is going to read the foreword by Richard Brown. And why is Richard Brown's opinion important? Well, Richard Brown is a doctor. He's a medical doctor. He's the associate professor of clinical psychiatry at Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons in New York. And he is the co-author of Stop Depression and Stop Depression Now, SAM-E, SAME. So that's why Richard Brown is important. So I'm going to just read it verbatim because I don't want to take anything out of context. I want you to hear exactly what he says because it's important that you know this from the perspective of a medical doctor with a background in psychiatry and the effect that yoga really can have on people's mental health. Short-term, long-term, and everything in between. So here we go. Depression is a worldwide epidemic. It is the leading illness in adults and often occurs with other serious illnesses such as heart disease, stroke, and arthritis. It predisposes sufferers to Alzheimer's and Parkinson's diseases and accelerates aging of the body and brain. In the United States, we have an unprecedented rise in the rates of child and teen suicide. The depression epidemic is even worse in developing countries and will increase as people live longer. Women and older people have an increased risk of depression. What causes depression? In mainstream medicine, it is believed to be an overactivation of the stress response part of the nervous system. Recent evidence indicates it's also associated with the underactivation of the well-being or the parasympathetic part of the nervous system. The current medical treatment of depression predominantly focuses on antidepressants, which calm the stress response system. This approach has numerous drawbacks. Antidepressants have immediate side effects. Consequently, many people are reluctant to start medication or become unwilling to continue it for more than 3 months. The lack of any solid data on the long-term side effects of antidepressants is a growing concern. Furthermore, prescription antidepressants are costly. People without prescription insurance coverage and those living in less industrialized countries cannot afford to see doctors or pay for these medications. Surprisingly, even in Australia, the socialized health service budget for medication is projected to go bankrupt by 2005. So it's probably already bankrupt. Primarily because of the cost of antidepressants and secondarily the cost of arthritis drugs. My friends in Australia can check that information for me and see where it's at now. Because we're in 2025, but this is 20 years hence that we're having this discussion. Finally, what I've seen so often is that medication reduces the desperation and suicidality that the depressed person feels, but it does not touch the whole being. It does not bring out the feelings of joy and love inside of us. 5 years ago, while speaking at a United Nations symposium on natural treatments for worldwide depression, I discovered a wealth of medical and psychiatric research on how yoga, breathing, and other yoga practices effectively relieve depression. Since then, I have trained to bring these healing techniques to a wide range of people, including patients and healthcare providers who suffer from stress and depression. I met Amy, and that's Amy Weintraub, the author of the book, in the course of her research for this book. and was impressed by her loving spirit and depth of character. In this book, she describes from her own experience and that of others how to use the 8 limbs of yoga to overcome depression. Yoga offers an alternative to the problems of conventional medical treatment for depression. It does not have detrimental side effects. It has side benefits for the body and mind. It is extremely cost effective and can be taught to large groups. Yoga practices address the root cause of depression, the energy drain caused by the overreactions of our mind to the stresses of our world and the pressures of our own fears and desires. By activating our innate mental, physical, and spiritual healing capacities, yoga practice strengthens our feelings of joy, peace, and connectedness. To establish an effective yoga practice requires discipline, commitment, and time. These are the greatest impediments, but only through effort and commitment can we hope to grow. The choice is yours. Reading about yoga is the first step. The next step is experiencing yoga under the guidance of a skilled teacher. This book is your map to finding the right teacher and the best practices to help you heal yourself. Read it and apply the practices to your daily life. If you want to go out and get this book, it was put out by an organization called BroadwayBooks.com. Broadway books.com. And you can also find it at yogafordepression.com. So it's yogafordepression, all one word.com. And the ISBN number is 07679-1450-3. And it's really, really a good book. Now, with regards to yoga and depression, just about everybody who's ever come to my class dealing with depression or come to me privately dealing with depression has, in a very short period of time, seen some relief. Why is that? I'll give you some time to think about that. Okay, so when you practice yoga, you're breathing. So you're breathing in fresh energy and you're letting go of tension and stress and energy that you've already used up, that is no longer of any benefit to you. So when you spend 45 minutes to an hour doing that, you have recycled a lot of the cells of your body, not just in your body, but also in your brain. Your cells, like the cells are not going to go away, but you have, they do. They go through a cycle. All of the cells of your body, most people don't realize, they are constantly dying and being reborn, being reborn. Each cell in your body lasts only a certain amount of time and it is replaced by another cell. So your cells are constantly renewing themselves. And as your body is producing new cells, if you're putting good energy into your body, as your body is creating these new cells, the cells get healthier and healthier. Each individual cell becomes more full of prana, the life force energy that your body thrives on. That's what keeps your body alive is the life force energy. So if you have a higher level of life force energy, your energy is better, your mood is better, and all of this. This is why it's so important to do yoga if you suffer from any sort of depression. And even if you don't suffer from depression, everybody can benefit from having a higher level of energy. And most people may have, a really good life and be pretty good, and then something challenging comes, and then boom, they might drop down into a lower level of mood that's close to depression, but might not be full depression. And all you need is a little bit of energy to lift yourself up. So the physical yoga gives you energy. Meditation gives you energy, but energy from meditation all by itself without some physical movement sometimes is problematic when you're dealing with depression. Physical movement to get the cells moving, get the body moving, get the muscles moving, is really good to do before you sit to meditate, and so is pranayama. So we'll talk about that down the road. But right now, I just really wanted to talk about why is it that yoga is so important for depression. And of course, you've got to think about the 8 limbs of yoga, all these aspects of yoga. But for now, we just want to talk about physical yoga, as in asana practice, as in vinyasa practice, as in meditation and pranayama. So that's about all for today. Rani Yoga Devi signing off. If you have any questions about why is yoga important for us if we're dealing with low energy or depression, please comment below, and I'm happy to answer your questions. And we'll continue along with the next phase of this discussion next week. Take good care. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye for now. Rani Yoga Devi signing off. Namaskar.